This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Friday, August 11th, 2023. Our Friday 5, the 5 big stories as we head into the weekend, and call it 5A. 5 in 10 is now back on YouTube. We've been off for 2 years. We are back now. Subscribe, youtube.com/@5in10. And then download the Skywatch TV app to make sure we never get canceled from you again. Topic number 5 this week, the Middle East. We told you earlier this week that 2 U.S. warships with 3,000 newly deployed soldiers and sailors have entered the Red Sea. This is part of the Pentagon's effort to thwart Iranian harassment and seizures of vehicles in international waters, especially through the choke point, the Strait of Hormuz, through which much of the world's oil exports travels. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, a news story we had not previously reported on, the Wall Street Journal reporting that there's a development in relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. You remember during the Trump administration, the Abraham Accords had begun the process of normalizing relations between the Saudis and the Israelis. Well, according to the report in the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia have agreed on the outlines of a deal for the Saudis to recognize Israel in exchange for concessions to the Palestinians, U.S. security guarantees, and civilian nuclear help. The Saudis saying that that's a key part of the deal, the Saudis wanting to develop its own uranium production and nuclear program to offset the Iranian nuclear program. Progress largely stalled in the relations between the Saudis and the Israelis against the backdrop of increasing Palestinian protests. The Wall Street Journal indicates that these will be hammered out over the next 9 to 12 months. Many of the problems that need to be overcome. Saudis seeking significant concessions from Israel, promoting the creation of a Palestinian state, something that's really a non-starter for the Netanyahu administration. In other words, just looking at this cynically, which is kind of the way you have to view geopolitics, under the control of principalities, powers. I mean, when Satan took Jesus up to, Mount Hermon and showed him the kingdoms of the world and said, look, bow the knee to me and I'll give all these kingdoms to you because they are mine to give to whom I will. Just remember, that's who's in charge of the geopolitics of this world. Anyway, it looks to me as though the White House is willing to throw Israel under the bus in exchange for Saudi Arabia backing away from its growing friendliness toward Russia and China, the BRICS nations. Not really much of a surprise there. Topic number 4, this meddlesome Trump. It's a reference to Thomas Becket, King Henry saying, well, no one rid me of this meddlesome priest. Anyway, we told you this week, Soldier of Fortune magazine reported that Joe Biden is now aware of who it was who dropped that cocaine inside a restricted area of the White House, but he's not talking. The sources who talked to the investigative journalists at Soldier of Fortune, they're not authorized to speak to the press and wanting to maintain their careers and safety. They're not openly saying who it is either, but that information is out there. Now, we don't expect the story to go anywhere because the corporate media is really devoted to protecting anybody not named Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. And to that end, this week we learned from law professor Jonathan Turley that the legal strategy employed by Special Counsel Jack Smith, who has been tasked with ridding Joe Biden with this meddlesome former president, could actually create legal jeopardy for Biden himself, because as the New York Times reported that Biden was pressuring Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, to somehow rid him of Donald Trump, indict him. Special Counsel Jack Smith has put forward an interesting theory of criminality, which even friendly observers are calling novel, unique, not done before. This theory of criminality could be used as the basis for House Republicans to impeach Joe Biden. Basically, the Justice Department acknowledges that the Constitution protects false statements made in political campaigns. In other words, First Amendment says if you're a politician and you lie, that's protected speech. There's nothing illegal. I mean, if you're lying to defraud somebody, okay, there's a problem there. But if you're making political claims that aren't really true, that's covered by the First Amendment. So if they're going to prosecute Trump on that basis, well then, Joe, we got some issues here with your statements about Hunter Biden's business dealings, which now even friendly media like the New York Times and Washington Post are saying, yeah, that stuff that President Biden said is just not true. Get your popcorn. We're heading into a very interesting political season. Topic number 3, the war on cash. Talked about this week. Nigel Farage, former head of the UK Independence Party and the Brexit Party, now a presenter for GB News, revealed a few weeks ago that he'd been debanked by Coutts, a division of NatWest, the former Royal Bank of Scotland. But then when he went to other banks to offer them his business, 9 other banks said, no, we don't want to do business with you either. This is becoming a problem because your political views can leave you without a bank. Here in the United States, we've seen some issues with certain online payment processing companies taking issue with certain political stances and wanting to fine you for expressing those publicly. They backed off after a public outcry, but this is part of a broader war on cash as they want to move us toward digital currency, and specifically digital currencies controlled by central banks, CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Watch for this. Resist it. Whenever possible, use cash in your transactions. Force them to continue accepting cash. Because when they push us into a CBDC, we will no longer be using a currency. We will be, harnessed by a system of control. Topic number 2, the mystery lab in California. This was really a disturbing discovery. Then more information has come out over the past week that's really of interest. This illegal lab, not producing meth or crack or anything like that, but this California lab run by a Chinese biotech firm called Prestige Biotech, found in Reedley, California, about 20 miles southeast of Fresno, contained laboratory mice genetically engineered, we now know, genetically engineered to spread COVID-19. Interesting. Again, not in a biosecure laboratory, but in a warehouse that was only discovered because a local inspector noticed a garden hose illegally run through a wall of the lab. What's going on here? Oh my, we seem to have a bunch of laboratory mice, hundreds of them, many of which are dead. Federal investigators now on the case. According to National Review, court documents showed that the Centers for Disease Control conducted tests on the more than 800 chemicals found at the site, found more than 20 infectious agents present, including hepatitis B and C, streptococcus pneumonia, chlamydia, rubella, herpes 1 and 5, and of course, the coronavirus. The owner of the lab, Universal Meditech, had filed for bankruptcy. Prestige Biotech had taken over, according to NBC News. Prestige Biotech, a creditor to UMI, identified as a successor. But when federal agents tried to track Prestige Biotech, addresses in China proved to be unverifiable or empty buildings. What exactly is going on in Fresno County, California? And here's the kicker for the story this week. A document released in March of 2019 by Governor Gavin Newsom's Office of Business and Economic Development, GoBiz, found that the state of California had issued a tax credit of $360,000 to Universal Meditech to set up the business. According to a press release from 2019, the company developed, made, and sold in vitro diagnostic devices, including pregnancy, ovulation, and menopause tests. That doesn't sound at all like what investigators found at that lab in Reedley, California. Again, in a warehouse where containment was clearly not a priority. Coming up, canceling Jesus and how you can keep from having Skywatch TV canceled. Straight ahead on the Friday Five.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with just a few minutes on the clock, we want to make sure that you know how you can get your copies of both of these incredible new works in the Warriors of God special offer. When you order the Warriors of God special offer, you'll receive the Kingdom Warrior Full Spectrum Spiritual Warfare, Biblical Clearing and Maintaining Your Spiritual Perimeter by Dr. Michael Lake. But you'll also receive the brand new book by Corby Shuey, For Valor, Defending the Faith for Those of Worth. Both of these works complement each other fabulously and take you on a journey of next-level comprehension of spiritual warfare. But that's not all. Right now, when you order the Warriors of God special offer, we're also including absolutely free the phenomenal 2-disc collection on DVD, The Final Countdown, featuring Dr. Thomas Horn, Allie Anderson, and Donna Howell on how the secrets hidden within the biblical feasts unveil the final countdown to the return of Jesus Christ and the rapture of the church. But also included in this incredible special offer is Dr. Michael Lake's massive Sheerreef Imperative data DVD library that includes 56 different Christian classic books on PDF for use on device of your choosing, Understanding the Kingdom audio series, the eSword biblical software for Windows, and several TV appearances featuring Dr. Michael Lake. All of these items hold a retail value of $95, yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling.
Topic number 1 today, Porsche canceling Jesus. The German automaker catching blowback this week after the company released an advertisement, using the British pronunciation, advertisement here in the U.S., showing 60 years of development of the Porsche 911. It's an iconic automobile. Had the opportunity to drive one once in Philadelphia. It's amazing. Anyway, this ad caught the attention of sharp-eyed viewers who noticed that in the ad, the Porsche 911 was driving through the city of Lisbon, Portugal, and they had edited out, as you can see the circle there, the red circle, they had edited out the statue of Jesus Christ that overlooks Lisbon. They just digitally deleted Jesus. That takes some hubris. Anyway, when people complained on social media, specifically on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, the automaker pulled the ad and apologized. In an early version of a film created in Europe, the Cristo Rey statue does not appear. We are truly sorry and can fully understand the hurt that this has caused. The film has been removed, end quote. Why this got through the editing process, we don't know. We think what's probably happened is they're sorry they got caught at it, but that's okay. Jesus does not need us to defend him. A day will come where the filmmaker will have to explain that decision. Skywatch TV depends on your support, and we truly appreciate you. For your gift of any amount during the month of August, if you're in the U.S. or Canada, we'll send you a copy of the wonderful book by Jonathan Brentner, The Triumph of the Redeemed. What do we expect, or what can we expect during our future life in paradise? You see, this life in this mortal shell is temporary, but we are all immortal. The question is, where are you going to spend the rest of eternity? For your gift of any amount, no minimum, we will send you a copy of the book if you're in the U.S. or Canada, as our way of saying thank you for your support. More information online, skywatchtv.com, or call us toll-free 844-750-4985. Spiritual warfare, the subject of this week's discussion. Dr. Michael Lake, author of the new book, The Kingdom Warrior. He joins Joe Horn and the Skywatch investigative team. I was honored to sit on that panel, and you can watch that program right now at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content always at our website. It's also right now available at Roku or Apple TV. If you've got a set-top box, make sure you've got our app on it. All of our video content is there. These daily news updates, the women's program, Simply His as well. You can also find those at our YouTube channel, the main program, YouTube, which is at Skywatch TV Now, and of course the Rumble channel too as well. But if you download our mobile app, our smartphone or tablet app, all of our video content is there. It's hosted by a Christian company. It is our app. We will not be canceled from our app. So if one of the video sharing platforms decides that we cross a line and violate community standards, we will always be on the app. Now, if you want to watch it on a big screen, use Google's Chromecast or Apple's AirPlay to send it from your phone or tablet to your smart TV. And the benefit of the app is you also get a calendar of upcoming events and news updates 3 times a week as well. We've got apps for iOS, Android, Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets, and to make it easy to find the one right for your device, we've got links to all of their app stores at skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 on Skywatch TV.